Hello, and welcome to Teenage Brain, Section 1, Lesson 5, Section Diagnostic. Before we dive into the diagnostic, let's look at our culminating task prompt. You will use your knowledge of the teenage brain to answer the culminating task question. Does being a teenager positively or negatively affect one's decision-making? Be sure to address and refute at least one counterclaim in your response. Today you will express your understanding of the similarities and differences between the claims made by 3 different authors about the teen brain's impact on behavior and adulthood by composing a multi-paragraph response to the prompt. You have read 3 texts about brain development in the teenage years. Compare and contrast the development of ideas in each text. Be sure to use evidence from all 3 texts to support your response. For this lesson, you will need the 3 texts: Teenage Brain, Still Under Construction, Teenage Brains Are Malleable and Vulnerable, Researchers Say, and Teenage Brains. You will also need your Argument Understanding Tool 1, the Section Diagnostic Checklist, the Organization Frame Tool, and the Section Diagnostic Draft Document, found in today's lesson. Here are the learning targets for this lesson. Can you compare and contrast the claims the authors make about how teen brain development affects behavior? Can you organize your findings into appropriate paragraphs for a constructed response and support your thinking with evidence? You are going to review shared claims developed across Teenage Brains Are Valuable and Vulnerable, Researchers Say, the Teen Brain Still Under Construction, and Teenage Brains. Then you will share your response in Nearpod. Here's an example of an answer frame. All 3 texts develop and support the claim that blank. Similar claims include the brain is highly adaptive. The teen brain differs greatly from the adult brain, resulting in a difference of behavior. And instead of answering it in Nearpod, we're going to answer it in a class discussion. Now, you will review the 3 texts to answer the question. You will use your Argument Understanding Tool 1 to compare and connect ideas across texts. You will record your thinking and relevant supporting evidence on the Argument Understanding Tool 1, and you will need to be sure to include the appropriate citation for recorded evidence. The 2 questions that you'll be looking at are: consider where Text 1 and Text 2 differed as it relates to a claim about the teen brain. With which text is Dobbs's article more aligned? As you're answering these questions, I want you to think about the following. What does Text 1 claim about the teen brain? What does Text 2 claim about the teen brain? How are these claims similar? How are these claims different? What does Dobbs claim in his article? I also included an example of an answer frame. Both Dobbs and blank would agree that blank. Blank, however, claims that blank. You will have 10 minutes to complete this activity. Now you're going to review the prompt for the section diagnostic. Compare and contrast the claims made about the teen brain in each text including how each author develops each claim. Teenage Brains Still Under Construction, the pamphlet. Teen Brains Are Malleable and Vulnerable, Researchers Say, by John Hamilton, and Teenage Brains by David Dobbs. Use the evidence from each text to support your response. As you're looking and evaluating and breaking down this prompt, I want you to think about the following. What is the prompt asking you to do? What text is this prompt asking you to address? What are some important verbs in this prompt? Now you will create a draft that addresses the prompt. You will use your Argument Understanding Tool 1 and your Organization Frame tool. You will compare and contrast the claims made about the teen brain in each text, including how each author develops each claim. And if you open up the slides from this presentation, you will see the prompt on the previous slide. As you work through this activity, the section diagnostic, I want you to think about the following. What are the different parts of your thesis statement? Do you provide adequate textual evidence for each supporting claim? What can you add to your claim to make it more clear? What can you delete from your claim to make it more clear? What details must you add to make sure your claim communicates your conclusion about the text? What evidence from the text supports your claim? How can you revise your claim to be based on evidence from the text? How can you revise your claim to make it more specific or original? Be sure to state your claim clearly and provide supporting evidence as you create your draft. As you draft your paragraph, make sure you include a topic sentence and that your paragraph develops the topic sentence. Once you have created your draft, you need to review the prompt and the section diagnostic checklist. Does your response address the prompt? Does your response meet the expectations? You will have 30 minutes to work on your Organization Frame tool and another 30 minutes to create your response on your section diagnostic draft document. Congratulations! You have completed Section 1, Lesson 5, and in doing so have completed all of Section 1 of the Teenage Brain Unit. Today you compared and contrasted the claims the authors made about how teen brain development affects behavior, and you organized your findings into appropriate paragraphs for a constructed response, and you supported your thinking with evidence.